Superman and Batman and Robin in one adventure together. When a dark and evil plot reaches across space to Earth, it powerfully affects the lives of Earth's greatest heroes, Superman and Batman. For Superman becomes a doomed prisoner, and Batman becomes the ruthless and tyrannical warden of the prison for heroes. With my super strength gone, I can't carry this boulder, but Batman's force ray will lash me harder if I drop it. Move faster, Superman, or you'll feel the force ray again. You're not invulnerable now. Ha ha! One day, millionaire Bruce Wayne, who is secretly Batman, hears an unearthly sound. A strange humming sound from the Batcave. It can't be Robin, for he's at school as Dick Grayson. I'd better switch and investigate. Quickly becoming the cowled crime fighter, he descends to the Batcave to see. It looks like a humming, whirling ball of force, and it's speaking to me telepathically. Don't be alarmed, Batman. This sphere is an instrument of pure energy from far across space. You're urgently needed in a conclave of heroes of many worlds, meeting on a far planet to face a great emergency. Enter this sphere and it will take you there. This is incredible, but if I'm greatly needed, I've got to answer this call. You are now protected from airless space and can hurtle across the void. Then, rocketing at terrific speed out of the Batcave. I'm leaving Earth's atmosphere, yet I feel no cold, and I can breathe. In an incredibly short time. It's a forbidding world the sphere has brought me to. That great, grim building looks almost like a prison. It's the greatest maximum security prison in the universe, Batman, and in it are imprisoned the heroes of different worlds. And you, Batman, are going to be the strict warden of this prison of heroes. That's the real reason you were brought here. You know every security measure, every escape trick in the book. Whoever operates this energy sphere lied to me, tricked me that it'll gain them nothing. I'll never act as prison warden if the prisoners here are innocent men. Next moment, you're changing, Batman. You're becoming ruthless, merciless, changing. It's trying to hypnotize me, but it won't work. Hypnosis can't make a person do something contrary to his normal nature. But this is super hypnotism of a kind and power no Earthman has ever faced before. You'll obey my commands now, Batman. You'll guard the captive heroes as warden, and you'll lure Superman, the greatest of all heroes, to be imprisoned here also. We prepared things so he'll have no superpowers on our world. Yes, I'll do it. I'll be tough with these prisoners, and with Superman too. When I get him here, it's my duty. Unaware of how his personality has been changed, a grim Batman begins his ruthless role. The warden's office would be in that guard tower. I'll inspect the security arrangements first. These force rays are just what I need to enforce prison discipline. And with that radio transmitter, I can get Superman here. Soon, on faraway Earth, a giant radio telescope designed to study far stars picks up an unexpected signal. But, Dr. Marlin, this radio signal from star XD 919 is saying in Morse code, Batman calling Superman. It's impossible. But you're right. Take down the message. Code word CKBW. Code word CKBW. Shortly, when a teletype bulletin reaches the Metropolis Daily Planet, reporter Clark Kent, who is secretly Superman, gets a shock. Batman calling Superman for help. Code word CKBW. Aw, it has to be a fake. How could Batman reach a distant planet? It's not a fake. Only Batman knows our secret identity initials as Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne. I'd better change to Superman fast. Moments later, at the Radio Astronomical Observatory. The radio telescope fixed the direction the message came from. It's from star XD 919. And I can see with my telescopic vision that that's a yellow sun, and not a red one, which would deprive me of my powers. There's nothing to stop me. I'll answer Batman's call fast. Fast for the mighty Man of Steel means super fast, soon, far across space. It is Batman. But how did he get marooned on this faraway world? Batman, I got your message for help, but how did you ever get here? As warden of this prison where you'll be confined, I'll ask the questions, and I'll give the orders. Into the prison. March. His whole personality has changed. He's become grim and domineering. And how does he expect to make a prisoner of me when I have superpowers? But at that moment, a terrible phenomenon occurs. Great Krypton, the yellow sun here suddenly turned red. How is it possible? Now I get it. Somehow, by remote control, a huge filter has been projected into orbit around this world. The filter changes the sun rays from yellow to red. Under these red rays, my superpowers are almost entirely gone. I have only weak super breath and supervision. So the filter must be at least 99% effective. My super strength, speed, and invulnerability are gone. Next moment. You're just another prisoner here now, Superman. March. That flash of force hurts. He can't do that to me. Even without my superpowers, I'll bet I can take him. But as Superman prepares to leap at Batman, come on and try it, prisoner. I want you to try it. How do you like the force ray? Can't face this burning, stinging lash. It's too much for me. The once mighty Man of Steel becomes a cowed and driven man. Ha ha! You're learning, prisoner. You've got a lot to learn here, and you'll find I'm a good teacher. It's like a bad dream, a nightmare. Shortly, the captive heroes from other worlds greet Superman. We were tricked into an energy sphere and brought here and imprisoned too. I'm Electric Man. I can generate terrific electric current, but the methyl vapors in this atmosphere short-circuit me.
And I, Balloon Man, can superinflate my lungs and fly, but the same vapors inhibit my superpower.
I'm the freezer. On my world, I could freeze anything instantly, but it's so much warmer here that my power won't work. and yet it's too cold here for me. I'm the flame, and on my super hot planet, I could melt anything, but not here.
You'll find this Batman a terrible, cruel warden. He enjoys slave driving and gives us our rations only once a day.
And then nothing but a little bread and water? I can't believe it. A moment later, I overheard what you said, Superman. Since bread and water doesn't please you, you'll get neither today. Batman, you wouldn't do that. I'm vulnerable now. I need food and water. On Earth, the Batman was my friend and a great champion of the law. But somehow, his whole personality has been distorted.
But who has done this to all of us? Who trapped us here, and why? We've never learned who's behind this.
You were all champions of justice on your worlds, as Batman and I were on Earth. Whoever's behind this could have imprisoned us here to get us out of the way before they raid and loot our worlds. We have to escape.
You'll find escape impossible with Batman as warden.
Next morning at daybreak.
Prisoners, out.
Here's where it begins. Another day of toil.
Did you expect to lie around in idleness all day, Electric Man? Faster!
There must be some way to escape this nightmare. But how?
No loafing, Superman. You'll split rock like the others or feel the force ray again.
These crowbars are purposely made so heavy we can hardly lift them and can't use them to throw at him. After hours of toil under the scorching red sun rays,
get into that cavity and dig out rock from it.
But it looks unsafe. Even with my weakened X-ray vision, I can see it is unsafe, but I mustn't let him suspect I have even a trace of my powers.
When a warden gives orders, you don't argue. You obey.
Can't stand more of that force ray. I have to risk it. But a few minutes later, the whole rock above me is splitting into fragments. Have to get out of here fast, but it's too late. Batman, I'm pinned down. Help me out. Please try to remember our friendship. If only I can get through to the real Batman, it's my only chance.
Your own clumsiness got you into this mess, prisoner. Get yourself out.
I can't get through to him. There's nothing left in him of the real Batman. He has no human emotions or pity or decency. And now, for the first time in my life, I hate the Batman. End Part 1. Part 2. Superman has suffered greatly at the hands of his former friend and partner, Batman. But is it possible that even this could make the Man of Steel become cruel and vengeful? You're in for a shock when the tables are suddenly turned and Batman becomes the victim of the revenge of Superman.
Move, Batman! Keep breaking those rocks or you'll feel a full charge of the force ray.
You're going to suffer as you made me suffer.
This ball and chain is weighing me down. Have mercy, Superman.
As Superman, trapped, struggles vainly. We'll dig you out, Superman.
Thanks. You're real friends.
Moments later.
Since they're your friends, Superman, you won't mind doing all their work on the rock pile as well as your own. Get busy.
But he can't possibly do it all.
At least let us split some of the rock for him. You heard your orders. Sit there and watch. The great Superman, who's so strong, can easily do it all. As Superman toils with waning strength, only my weak remaining supervision is of any help. With my X-ray vision, I can see where the rocks are cracked and split them more easily, but I can't go on much longer. Finally, the sun sets on an exhausted Superman. Back to your cells. March. No lagging, Superman. You didn't like bread and water, Superman. Remember? So you get none until you beg for it. I'll never beg you for anything, Batman, but my time will come. Superman, take this water while he's not looking. But suddenly, ouch! Now both of you can go thirsty tonight. Ha ha ha! Batman will slave drive us to death if this goes on. If I only had my superpowers again. Even on this world of a red sun, there may be a way. That night, as an evilly altered Batman gloats in the barred warden's office. Tomorrow, Superman will be even weaker from lack of food and water, and I'll show him what real discipline means. But there's someone outside my door. Superman, you broke the metal bar across the door. How could you do that? Or get out of your cell? I got my superpowers back, Batman, and now for a reckoning with you. You're through with that force ray, Batman. I don't believe you. You couldn't have superpowers now that the sun of this world shines with red rays. But you must have super strength, for I feel helpless, numb, cold in your grasp, but how? How? I'll only shut off his breathing with this wrestling hold long enough to make him unconscious. I've got plans for Batman. Next morning. It's my turn to give the orders now, Batman. March. You can't blame Superman for being so vengeful after what he suffered. In the quarry, under the red sun rays, but I can't work on this steep cliff with the ball and chain dragging me down. Either work or feel the force ray, I don't care which. We don't blame you for wanting revenge after the way he treated you, but this is going too far. He made me suffer, and he's going to suffer in return. He works up there all day. And when the terrible day's task ends, I wrecked the cell door locks when I escaped, but I guess this bigger metal ball I made for your chain will keep you from running away. Ha ha! I can't even budge it. He did get his superpowers back, or he couldn't have lifted this colossal weight. Hidden in a crack in the masonry wall nearby, a monitor eye has watched, and that monitor has transmitted all that it has seen and heard across space. On the planet Vor, alien eyes have watched through the monitor. Your device to remove Superman's powers has failed, Waraj. He has his powers again. It's impossible, Your Majesty. He could not have superpowers on a world with a red sun. I studied him like the others before setting this trap. How can we, Vorians, carry out our planned conquest of many worlds unless the powerful heroes of those worlds are safely imprisoned? I'll go at once with my assistant to the prison planet, Your Majesty, and make sure those prisoners don't escape that world. And as two alien scientists prepare to depart. The preparations for galactic conquest are ready, but this may delay it. And my plan went so well, till now, our force spheres brought the tricked heroes to the prison. Batman was super hypnotized to be their ruthless warden, and mighty Superman was stripped of his powers. How could he regain them? When the small Vorian spaceship lands on the prison planet, I was a faithful warden of the prison here until Superman turned the tables on me. Please, cut off this chain. I'll cut the chain, but where's Superman? There he is, flying, as he and the other former prisoners make me toil here. I'm exhausted, can't stand. Remain here, and we'll get these escaped prisoners under control. Soon. There he comes, Waraj. Our force rays will have no chance against his superpowers. I still say he can't have superpowers in this red sunlight. He's faked them somehow. I'm going to call his bluff. He recoils from the force ray in pain. He's not invulnerable. He was bluffing. Don't use that ray on me. It's too agonizing. Tell me how you faked the regaining of your superpowers, or the lash will fall on you again. I'll tell. Don't use that thing. It was an attempt on my part to bluff everyone into thinking I was super again. I had only weak super breath and supervision, but I planned to use my fellow prisoners' powers to pretend I had superpowers. But I can't generate any electric power, Superman. As I told you, my dynamo power is short-circuited by the metal vapors in this world's atmosphere. Such heavy metal vapors would not be in the higher atmosphere. I'll use super breath to draw down pure air from the stratosphere. My drawing down pure, cold stratosphere air gave Electric Man a chance to use his unique power. Look, I'm generating terrific current. It's burning out all the electric cell door locks. Now I'll go after Warden Batman and convince him I've my superpowers back. The flame and the freezer can help me. My remaining heat vision warmed the chilled flame enough to use his power of melting anything. He's melting the metal bar inside the door. In a moment, it will be so weak, I'll be able to burst through it, and it will see I did so by my super strength. Before bursting in, I use super breath again to draw down more icy stratosphere air so that the freezer outside the little window could use his power. My power to freeze will make Batman feel weak, numb, frozen, so that Superman's normal strength will seem super strong to him. To carry out the bluff, I later had Balloon Man wear my cloak so it would seem I was flying. The pure air Superman drew down for me made it possible to use my power of superinflation, which the metallic vapors had prevented. I must try to look like Superman flying. But how could you lift that giant metal ball you put on Batman's chain? Answer, or I'll use the lash. I have to confess, that big metal ball was a fake I made. It's hollow and weighs only a few pounds. But through our monitor, we saw that Batman couldn't budge the giant metal ball. That means that Batman, by that time, was also faking. Then he must be in league with Superman, and we left him there by our spaceship. Quick, back to the ship.
But in the meantime, Batman has acted. Minutes before,
I've got to carry out my part of the plan while those aliens are occupied with Superman. Their spaceship is the only chance.
Batman, after swift study of the controls, sets them so the ship takes off.
I set its course carefully. If I erred, we won't get another chance.
The little ship flies off on a collision course toward the sun ray filter. And with the alien sun ray filter destroyed,
Batman used our ship to destroy the sky filter. Now in yellow sunlight, Superman has all his powers again. But Batman was super hypnotized to be evil.
yes, but when I had rendered him unconscious, I built and used a super dehypnotizing device of ancient Kryptonian science on him. As he came to, you will become yourself again, Batman. Kind, brave, the champion of law.
Why, what happened to me? I had a dream. I dreamt I was vicious and cruel, even to you. But I'm awake now.
And then Batman and I made our plans. By X-ray vision, I discovered a hidden monitor in the prison, by which whoever set this trap watches. If I pretend I regained superpowers and slave drive you, the plotters will come to see what went wrong with their trap. And we can use their ship to destroy their sun filter.
Pour on the cruel treatment. I can take it.
I'll take those rays, which can't hurt me now. Then I'm flying to your world, and I'll smash all your preparations for galactic conquest.
We tricked them here, but now we're out-tricked. Our great conquest will never take place.
Later, after he has destroyed the ships and arms of Vor, Superman returns and...
Can you others hear my radio? The spacesuits Superman made work fine. He'll take us each back to his own world. And he left those alien plotters here on the prison world. Marooned here. They're the prisoners now.